Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Heather here. I am so glad to have you back. Today we are doing a full face tutorial based on one brand, and that is e.l.f. So today we are going to be doing this look right here, which is kind of like a no makeup day for me, using only e.l.f. products. So if you like what you see, stay tuned and I will show you how I did it. Hi guys, welcome back. To get started, I did my brows off camera. So I used the e.l.f. brow kit, and this was part of their holiday collection, but it comes with a brow pomade and two colors. I did use a little bit of both. I kind of mixed so that way it looked a little bit natural, and then ran the spoolie, which is right here, I'm having problems getting it out, spoolie, through the brows to just finish off the look. Now, to start on our face, I am going to start out with our e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. It looks like this. It's the green one. And we're just going to do a pump, maybe two, and apply that all over our face. This does feel kind of silicone-y, so if you're looking for a hydrating primer that doesn't feel super slick or slippery, this is probably not for you. I personally like the silicone feel. I find that it helps make my pores vanish and hydrate my skin and keep my makeup on longer. So bring that down just so that way everything kind of smooths out. All right, next we are going to go in with the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. This does have an SPF of 15, and the shade I am using is Sand. So it looks like this. And I'm going to do a couple pumps on the back of my hand, and then we're going to apply that using the e.l.f. I believe it's their studio line. I believe it's the Flawless Face buffing brush. So I did two. That's quite a bit of product, as you can see. But I'm going to roll it on, or dot it on my face, and then I will go in and buff it in. This stuff does have a very strong smell, something to be aware of. It smells almost like a powder. I know that sounds weird, but when I was little, I used to play with my grandma's makeup all the time, and she had a powder that I think was actually a foundation. At the time, I didn't know. That she used that sounded like this, and so, or smelled like this. So now I am just going to buff that in. This is the first time I've used this foundation, and I do like the coverage I am seeing. For me, I look for a lot of coverage because I do have a lot of red in my skin, as I'm sure I've mentioned in almost every video I've ever filmed. But I like this color for me. This is a good color and a good coverage. I'm going to bring it down the neck. Over the ears. It does appear to be a little dewy, which is nice. I'm not sure if that's the foundation. It might be the primer because I used a hydrating primer. It could be the primer. But what I'm seeing here is a little bit of a dewy face, and really good coverage, good color match for my skin. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to use their concealer, the Perfect Blend Concealer, and this is in the shade Light Beige. This might actually be a little bit darker than what I normally like. Normally I like a brighter under eye, but I do have a product from e.l.f. Oh my goodness, if I can get this open. Sometimes you gotta call in help. Alright. As I was saying, this might be a little bit darker than what I normally go for, but it's what I had, it's the shade I had, so we're gonna go with it and see how it goes. The applicator is a little bit harsh for an under eye concealer, but I really like the color. I'm going to take their, this is the e.l.f. Pointed Foundation brush, and I'm going to use that to kind of buff it in and stipple it into my skin. So what I am doing, besides making super crazy faces, is I am kind of brushing down, which does tend to make streaks. So what I do to cover that up is I go back in and press, and that eliminates the creasing and the streaking, and I do that on both eyes. Next, we're going to go in with the e.l.f. That is not the right product. That is the cream eyeliner, but it looks like the same thing. I don't know if you can tell, but they're in like the same jar packaging. We're going to go in, though, not with the eyeliner yet. We're going to go in with High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder, and I believe this is sheer. I've used this a couple times before, and what I have to say about it is that there's a little bit of sparkle in it, but not too much. So I just take a very little bit and I kind of tap off the excess, and then I take it, because this product does not require a lot, and I press it under the eye. So I'm going to lean forward and kind of show you. And then I bring it down the side of my nose, just the places that we put that concealer. So again, very, very tiny amount. I don't know if you can tell like how little that is, but it's very tiny. And then brush and press. And then to set the remainder of our face, we are going to go in with the e.l.f. High Definition Powder. And I am going to take a powder brush by e.l.f. This is the sheer as well. I've used their banana powder before, and I wasn't a big fan. With the amount of red that I have in my skin, the yellow, while it's supposed to counteract, was just not the right shade for me. So I stick to the sheer. This is very messy, as you can tell. So I just get their big powder brush and dip it in. And it makes a lot of dust. And then I just pat this all over my face. This is from the Professional line. This is the Total Face Brush. I don't even know if they still sell this, to be honest. It's not my favorite brush for setting powder, but it is an e.l.f. brush. And I wanted to do a one brand tutorial, as you know from the title of this installment. So I used the only powder brush I had, and that's the one I got. So after that, we are going to go in and kind of contour and bronze up our face. So to contour, I am going to be using the e.l.f. Duo. This is the St. Lucia, and it looks like this. It's got a really nice kind of neutral brown, and the blush, that's what it's called, blush, in the palette is it's peachy and it's got some shimmer. It's not my favorite, so we're actually going to go in with their total blush palette. But in the meantime, I am taking this blending brush, and I don't know what it's called because unfortunately e.l.f. Only puts it on their package normally, but it is tapered and it is kind of like a fat fan brush. And I'm just going to brush this back and forth, pick up some product, and tap off the excess because this is very pigmented. You don't need a lot. And then I'm just going to take this from my ear and just kind of brush down to contour. And as you can see, I tapped off the excess and you can still see that contour right there. It is very powdery, so I just went in again, tap off the excess, and I'll do the other side. And I tend to like lay it down like this, so that way I have where my line is going to go for those beginning. And then I go back and I brush from the tip and back. And the reason I do that is because then I don't get the contour line coming too low. For a long time I tried to brush forward, and when I did that I found that the product just moved further onto my face, and then I looked like a doll. And you know, sometimes you're going for the doll look. Not today though. So after that, we are going to go in and do our blush. And like I said, we are using the blush palette. It looks like maybe this. This is the light shade. I think we're going for kind of a bronzy, glowy look. So I think I'm going to actually take this right here. I'm going to take their blush brush from the professional line and dip it in. Again, very powdery. Tap off the excess and go in. I start on the apples of my cheeks and then I swipe back towards that contour. So back towards that contour, just giving us a little bit of a bronzy glow. Next, I like to do my entire face first, so I'm going to go in with the highlighting shade and kind of finish off the face look before I go in with the eyes. So using their illuminating palette, this is the assorted one. I used it in the drugstore highlighting challenge that I filmed. It looks like this, and I don't know, I think we're gonna go in maybe with this shade right here. We'll try that one. We'll give that one a try. And I am just using one of their tapered brushes. I've tried fan brushes, I've tried this. I kind of like them both equally, so it's not really a preference. It's kind of a preference thing. It's not really one or the other for me. But I'm going to take this on the tops of my cheekbones, a little bit above my eyebrows, and on the tips of my nose. And this is just to give a nice glow to the skin, kind of draw your attention to specific areas that you want to emphasize. And I do like this. I think this is a very natural, subtle glow. I'm not even sure if the camera is going to do a good job picking it up, but it is a very natural, subtle glow, and it kind of makes you just look fresh. So I am going to do the eye look next. So hold tight and we'll be right back. So as you can see, I did one of my eyes already. I used the eye primer, a pot and then I actually used the bronzer to put in my crease, and then just some mascara. I did a very simple eye look. This is kind of an everyday look. During my everyday life, I don't generally wear winged eyeliner. I'm not super strong at it. However, practice makes perfect, so I just keep trying. And that's my recommendation for you too. But I'm going to show you what I did on this eye, on this one. So we're going to start off with our e.l.f. Shadow Lock Eyelid Primer. And it says Sheer is the shade. I'm pretty sure they only have one. And we're just going to take some of it. It looks very much like the concealer wand. And we're just going to take some of it on our eyelid. And I have to be very careful with having oily eyelids, not to put too much. So I always use my finger to blend it out, because that is my best indicator on whether or not there's too much product in the area. So once I've blended that out, we are going to go in with the smudge pot, and ain't that sweet. It is this really cute pinky pearlescent color, and again, I just use my fingers to apply it. So I get some on my finger, and then I kind of brush it all over the eyelid. As you can tell, maybe it's a very pearlescent pink, so you have to be kind of careful not to have too much, but it just gives you that nice soft glow. If this wasn't a one brand tutorial, I might add a little bit of shimmer on top of it just to kind of set it, but that's totally a preference. So next we're going to go back in with that St. Lucia bronzing set, and using an e.l.f. eyeshadow, angled eyeshadow brush like this, I'm just going to dip into it, into that bronze color, and I'm going to put that in the crease. I always start kind of in the middle of the eye, go out, and then back in, because you want the least amount of product on the inside of the eye. Some people start on the outside. It kind of depends on the day. I normally start in the middle. It just gives me a good guideline, and frankly, I find it easier. My crease is not super defined, so I find it much easier to find where my crease starts in the middle than if I try and track it to the edge. So that is what I'm doing, and then you just keep blending. As most YouTube artists know, you just gotta blend. That is the secret to everything. Just keep blending. And once you've got the desired amount, you're gonna go in with your mascara to finish off the look for the eyes. And I have this mineral infused mascara. It is in black, thank goodness. Although I do wear other colors. Sometimes you like to change it up. And I am going to, first of all, get the excess off. This brush is super bendy. I don't know if you can see that, but it actually applies the product pretty well. I have never worn this before. I did get it so that way I could complete the one brand tutorial. And I have to say, excuse my funny face, but I do like it so far a lot. I'll have to try it again and give you kind of a little mini review. If you're interested, leave a comment down below, let me know about this, because I've not heard a lot of people talk about it, and I know that one of the problems with mascaras, especially if you use them for your bottom lashes, is that they can leave those little dots. And so far, this one has not done that. I've not had that problem, so I'm super impressed with it. That finishes off the look for the eyes, and we're going to finish off the lips with their e.l.f. matte lip cream. I probably have said e.l.f. about every single product in this video, and it's an e.l.f. tutorial. Silly me. But we are using the shade Natural, and they come in this like pointed thing, and then there's a sharpener down here should it ever stop being pointed enough, which is kind of cool. So I'm just gonna apply this like a lip liner, but we're not gonna put anything on top of it. I really like these. They last a really long time, surprisingly. And yeah. So as it turns out, this is kind of like a no makeup day using only e.l.f. products, a little bit of bronzer, contour, some blush, light eyeshadow, and the lips. And this is what it looks like. You can totally change the look up and add a very bright lip. That's kind of a good way to jazz it up a little bit. But for now, this is what we have, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe down below in case I didn't say that earlier. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!